Hey guys, got a super important story today to share with you guys. Just got back from my week away. I was out of town, so I didn't get a chance to do a video, so that's where I've been for this week. But I am back now, and I'm excited to bring you this story today. So what we're looking at today, Axon, which is a taser provider to law enforcement, has just begun a taser weaponized drone development, even against backlash from their own ethics advisory board. This is absolutely shocking. But is it really? Is it really shocking? I don't think it's actually that shocking because we have seen this coming for a long time. We've been warned for years with movies like iRobot and, of course, some of our favorite science fiction authors that weaponized drones are hell. We do not want a society filled with weaponized drones. That is antithetical to human rights. And we need to talk about this because it's coming as an excuse to protect the children. But how many other things came as a way to protect us and have in fact only made us all less free, less autonomous, more automated as human beings? And it all stems from the technology that was promised to protect us, but in fact has chained us. In the future, is it going to make us more free? We need to really think about this one. So I want to show you what the image, the normalization, designing attractive robots. This is the type of media that you've been exposed to for robots. And isn't that cool? They can dance. So this is how robots are designed to be seen. But let me show you how I see them. This is the future of the battlefield, the future of policing, the future of security. At the trend we're on right now, this is the future. They say there will be accountability, but we haven't seen accountability thus far for the most part. So how is this going to be any different when you have an invisible person in a dark room flying weaponized drones around schools and, of course, other places as well, which we know it's not going to stay in the schools. I mean, you have to be naive to think it would stay in the schools. Just as naive as you'd have to be to think surveillance would only be for terrorists, profiteering. And I kind of hope that this drone never comes to market. But I don't know, given the way people fall for things so easily, and of course using personal data are manipulated on a massive scale, where every little activity they do, hovering this mouse over this image, shows interest. That is one way that social media tracks your interests. Even if you think you're getting away with browsing and scrolling through and looking at things and not liking them means you don't like them, that's not how the algorithm works. It actually measures the amount of time you spend looking at different things in certain cases. And they can make a lot of determining factors from there about you. And from there, they can craft special media tailored just to your personality type, your every little piece of you that makes you you, your mindset, everything. And they can have you like things that maybe you wouldn't have liked otherwise. People spend a lot of time online, and of course it makes it the greatest place for warfare, really. Informational warfare, which is the era that we live in. And we're about to enter this world of civilian, weaponized, autonomous drones and remote control drones weaponized. This is just the start. You think it'll end at tasers? You think it'll end at being at schools? You would be very wrong about that. I can assure you, if this precedent is set, we are going to see other companies strike out and come out with their own solutions. Think of different types of weaponizations. There could be other forms of weaponization. I can foresee it being used also, though, in the advertising industry. This will be normalized. This will be, as the Electronic Frontier Foundation states, we cannot state it strongly enough. If police get their hands on weaponized taser drones, they will not sit in a warehouse until the next emergency situation. History has proven this. We will see them flying over protests and shopping districts. We will hear news about police using a drone to taser someone for vandalism, petty theft, or fleeing a drone. It will not be a matter of if, but when. They mention having tested this technology, so they do know it works. Of course, it's already somewhat, I'm sure, in some form of development. And this was just the right opportunity to strike. Now we are seeing the weaponized drone industry being birthed in civilian policing. And here's their little introduction to it, which is a little storyline, a little comic. The weaponized drones come in and save the day. Now, what if this guy shuts the door on them, as others have mentioned? I don't think that drone would be much good if it's behind a door. And I also don't think, and also know from studies, they show that these tasers don't always affect people. So, of course, we'll see an upgrade in the weaponry. It's a precedent being set. And even the Ethics Advisory Board from the company Axon has denounced the announcement for introducing this weaponized drone to a children's school. And, of course, many other places thereafter. We know this for a fact. Checking out the Reddit thread that just started today, where it's an Ask Me Anything, the CEO and founder of the weaponized drone, Taser drone. If you want to say something about this, you can, of course, put your own feedback on the comments here. And even he admits, I know drones in schools can sound nuts. Yes, they are. They're absolutely nuts. I think that when you look at the big picture here, you look at the big picture, and there are some rules of reality out there. You can only be so safe and free at the same time. And ask yourself, is this a world you want to live in with weaponized drones in your neighborhood? Because it's already, coming into play. This is just the first step. One day, we may be looking at something like this. I urge you to speak up about this issue. Repost this video wherever you can and spread the word about this plan by Axon. I'm not thrilled with it, and I'd really like to get the word out, so make sure to share this video. What do you think? Do you want weaponized drones in your children's school, wherein a child playing could be mistaken for something else? I think we need to take into account that so many mistakes have happened. And, of course, we have to take into consideration that we know that tasers aren't non-lethal at all, even though that's what Axon's introducing it as. They are less than lethal, if you want to be accurate about it, which I hope they will come to terms with the fact that it is still potentially lethal to some people, especially if you have a heart condition or something else. And so, of course, 1,000 people in the U.S. have actually died after police stunned them with tasers. The fact that this isn't just a plan to bring weaponized drones, part of the plan is to also enhance and increase massive AI, mass surveillance, camera networks, and sensors into real-time communications. And this is something that would outfit children's schools with various radio sensors and wireless devices and networks for performing mass surveillance on them. And there's no excuse to add weaponized drones into our society. No matter where you live, nobody deserves weaponized drones in their society. This is a dystopian hellscape that I wouldn't wish on anyone. And so I hope you'll stand with me and stand against weaponized drones in our neighborhoods, in our schools, in everywhere we go. Because that's what it's going to end up being. If this precedent comes into play, you're going to be seeing weaponized drones practically everywhere at some point in the future. And of course, it's going to be pitched as a way to keep you safe. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back later with more on how to protect your privacy.